Well, my positive focus this week is that I was able to see all the family sometime or another for the past week. And also, Caroline, for Christmas, gave me a letter. Well, it's kind of a letter paper thing.
Yeah.
And it had different dates and the things we had done and different memories we had. So that was it was cool. I love it.
That is cool. How awesome. That's very nice.
Yeah. My positive focus is that I'm feeling better than I did at Christmas time.
Very good.
That's a pretty great positive focus, too. You back to 100%, Jane, or no?
Not yet.
Okay. We'll get there. All right, Dad, how about you?
Got to see most everybody, like Emma said, last Sunday and this week. So that was real good and everything. Got to see people today. So got to connect with a lot of people this week. That's good.
Nice.
Jay?
Mine is that I got to see the Cresses, Rich and Jenny, and a lot of people. And
Sunday you got to see Emma and Jane.
really?
Yeah. Party.
Yeah.
This party, yeah. So,
Yeah. And that's it.
so Emma's. I know it.
Yeah.
I know it. Somebody's getting fussy, and we're going into essential oils now to see if that's going to help the baby sleep.
Okay. Well, let us know how it does.
Emma, Jane, pray for something on this essential oils. We're going to put lavender behind her ears and right on her palms of her hand, and then on the big toes of her feet. And that's supposed to help her sleep. If you believe in voodoo. So.
Well, no, we can't hear you, Em. Mic's off.
I can't say a word. I was in M's position many times where I couldn't get things to work right.
Well,
Can you hear me now?
yep.
Yes.
We got you
yes.
now.
Okay.
All
Very
right.
good.
Good.
Very good.
So we have a
Alrighty.
blessing on the essential oils.
Yes. Hopefully they work.
That's right.
We're
That's
trying
right.
to get her schedule changed around a little bit.
That's right. Good. Well, my positive focus, I was able to see everybody over Christmas, and I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed seeing all you guys. It was an awful lot of fun. Yeah, that's my biggest positive focus. That was just great. It was a really fun time. Jenny and I were only able to make it down there for a couple days, but we made it down there, and I think we did a lot in the short time we were there.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. All right. So, Em, did you have a chance to check these out?
I did, yes. I thought they were interesting.
Yeah.
Some people didn't know. Okay, so what they were pretty much talking about is your short-term memory, right?
Yep. Yep. All short-term memory stuff on this one.
I was like
So
your
Anna,
working memory.
Anna was really curious about like how to improve her memory. So if we wanted to improve our memory, Jane, what did you take away from all these? How you improve your memory?
You use it more, which I feel like you use your brain more, exercise your brain. I do that all day at school. All day.
Every day.
Yeah.
thinking.
Calculators. Use math. Do math in your head or on paper without a calculator. You don't think that's good? I think math should be cut from school. It said that math was like puzzles. So do puzzles instead of math. I would love that.
Jane, you're getting very close to being in that kind of math.
Yeah, I don't like it.
The kind of math that you're going to, because you're not in geometry yet, correct?
No.
Wait. You're in algebra?
Yeah.
How do you like that?
I hate it. It said to apply it to your apply it to things, and algebra you cannot do that.
But you can.
You cannot.
You can.
Not when you have like x equals some random number, letter, parenthesis combination.
But it does.
It just does
It
not.
does.
Emma seems to think that there's application for it.
No.
I help her with her algebra. It's okay.
Jane, I think you'll really like geometry when you get geometry.
Probably.
Heart geometry. But there's algebra in it.
You like geometry, don't you? Geometry is very easy for people who know how to think and have logic. It's
so logical.
It's a puzzle for your brain. You'll love it.
Great.
DJ just loves it.
Yeah, I do.
DJ, you're doing better all the time at geometry. Don't even give us that. We know that you're doing better in geometry. Usually geometry's a little tough for, like if you do really well at math, sometimes you don't do well at geometry and vice versa.
Right.
So.
I have spring coming up next semester, so hopefully that'll be better than pre-calculus.
You do good at that. You'll do fine. It's good. It's good. You'll do great. So, DJ, what did you take away from these?
What I got is that you basically just have to exercise your brain to be able to use it.
And don't be afraid of trying new things, learning new things. What else? You got a whole page there. First.
Oh.
And Jane, I have a question for you. Do you remember what he said about how to remember those 4 random items that he said at the beginning?
Oh, I know them. Oh, sorry.
Process it, repeat, apply it to your life, and I don't remember. Oh, use imagery or something. He talked about imagery or something like that, thinking about imagery, which I thought of the words as it was first tree, then highway. So I thought like tree, and you're driving on a highway with a tree. And then I thought that a mirror in a car. And then I thought Saturn. I thought you're driving on Saturn, like the wings of Saturn on a highway. And electrodes, that is the one that I just kind of had to remember.
There's electrons going.
Very good.
Why is that, Jane? Why did you just have to remember electrodes?
Because it really couldn't apply to that situation at the moment.
That's right.
Exactly. Right, Em? Right? It's always easiest to remember things when you can connect dots, right? The more dots you can connect them to something you already know. Now it's one chunk of information for your brain, and it's not that hard to remember, right? We want to be everything in chunks.
Right.
So the more you know about electrodes, you would probably be able to find a way to make an electrode part of that picture of you driving on Saturn, looking out the rearview mirror and passing a tree, because you had an electrode on your brain or something like that. So once you know a little bit more about electrodes, Jane, you'll have no problem remembering all four, because now you have an electrode on your brain or on your heart for an EKG or anywhere else, right? Just because you know other places electrodes are used. Now all of a sudden they all fit together so well that you're like, well, obviously I'm driving on Saturn, looking out the rearview mirror, passing a tree, and having an electrode shocking me.
We did an exercise in a class last year that I took, and she would give us a group of 6 words, and we'd have to like take each certain group of words and write a poem, and then we'd have to take this group of words and write them like 5 times. And then in between different ones, she's like, okay, now the set that you wrote a poem with, what were those 6 words? And we saw like how you remembered. Like one, you drew a picture of each of the words, and it was so cool because like I take notes like that sometimes. I draw pictures in every bio, and that relates things. So it was interesting.
You've heard the expression, picture's worth 1,000 words?
Right. Yeah.
Same way in your brain. So if you can have a visual image of something, that can be an amazing amount of information for your body to store, right? And remember, like how they said, like, why is it, from a few weeks ago, I don't think you guys were on the call, but like, what's the difference between a guy's brain and a girl's brain?
Oh, we were.
Oh, you were good. Okay, so one of the key differences was that there was always an emotion linked up with anything that ever happens, right? So you remember everything, right? Why are guys like, I said something mean 16 years ago and you still remember every word, right? Guys don't remember anything, right? Because there's no emotion tied to it, right? So anytime you're learning anything, tie any emotion to it, you remember it. And that's memory. Like literally, like memory, there's no voodoo magic about how to like get a better memory. It's a use it or lose it type thing. So like repetition is the mother of skill. So like you repeat, you remember, like, you know, like when you're studying is not hard. It's really not. If you want to like pack your brain full of stuff, you literally look over it like a time period later. Every time you shorten the amount of time you look over it, but you just repeat it every so often. Depends on how much time and how much quantity, but usually like a couple times in one day, then maybe once the next, once in 3 days later, 1 day, 7 days later, all of a sudden, it's now in your long-term memory. It's not going anywhere. Now, you don't have to restudy it for the final or whatever.
Yeah.
People who cram, like literally, they have those problems all the time. Like it's constant. They always just cram it all in, right? And all of a sudden, like they walk out of the room, and what happens? You're just like, oh,
Lose it.
thank God. Now I've got to shove all that crap out of my head because I've got my next final, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of the stuff that you continue to learn year after year, it all builds upon each other. So the sooner you can have a little framework to build on, the easier everything becomes.
Right.
Deej, you got other things out of this, I know. What was your other stuff that you got?
Well, are we talking about the first one? The first video?
Mm-hmm.
I got that you just gotta keep saying or remembering or talk about the things or stuff that you would like to remember later on. Just like Uncle John, he said that he had to always talk about his wife or the wars that he was in back in his days. Anything that comes to his mind, because if he doesn't talk about it, he'll forget about it.
And that's a good example, Emma, because Jane, I'm not kidding you. When I took them up to Massachusetts, we didn't even have an opportunity to turn the radio on because Uncle John talked the whole way up and the whole way back. And like he said, if I don't keep talking about it, then I will forget it.
Yeah. He came over to our house like 2 months ago, and he told me, like his about his time in the Coast Guard and everything. And I kid you not, he started talking in Morse code, and we're all just like, what? Like he just wasn't he? He just kept going. The alphabet, and he's like, and this is how you say this, and this is how you say this, and Barry's just there shaking his head, and we were so enthralled by his Morse code. So he does remember things.
And that's hard to remember, that Morse code. And another thing that I keep marveling at was when we were listening to the videos on John Wooden. Did you guys get in on any of those? He was 96 years old, and he was quoting poetry, one right after another. And it was just amazing,
Wow.
But 96 years of age and quoting poetry like he did. So
there's a word in neurology, right, which is brain, right? Brain matter is neurological. So it says that cells that fire together wire together. So that's a habit, right? So any habit, whether you have like, this is my favorite poem. So I say this poem every day. Say for example, like how much thought does it take for you to recite the Our Father at church?
Not a lot.
You don't even think about the words. It's not your fault, but you don't even have to think about them, right? Like it just comes out. You'll be all the way through the Our Father before you even realize you've actually even said the Our Father.
Right.
Right? Like it's not really a bad thing. You just want to make sure that whatever you're habituating, you choose. That is what you really want to remember and make a choice out of. So if there's something you really want to remember, just like John with his Morse code, he wanted to remember that clearly, because I don't think you guys are the first, second, or 10th people he's told that to. What do you think? How many times do you think Barry's heard that?
Oh, God.
You know what I mean? Like you say, repetition is the mother of skill. Like repetition, like he'll keep doing it, right? You think, and it's the same with any habit. Like that gets off on habits a little bit. Like habit, like why do you think people who have a lot of money usually have a lot of money? It's a habit. They just make a habit out of it, right? It's a habit to do that. They have different habits than everybody else does because they do the same thing again and again and again and again. People who are in really great shape, they go to the gym, they don't really all of a sudden one year end up fat.
Okay, hold on. On the floor! We have beef jerky out, and she thinks it's hurt. So, sorry.
I see. I bet it was really great. She really wanted some. She seems like a really sweet dog.
Yeah.
She's a little vicious.
Something else to say, but I forget it.
Jane, what about you? What do you think? Oh, sorry, go on, Em.
That's okay. Gotcha. I liked the last part where it said that physical activity helps you remember things because it gets more blood flow to the brain. Also, what else was there? When it was like telling you all the different parts of the brain, I thought that was cool because I never knew that kind of stuff.
That is cool.
I liked that video just because it put the science behind what he was saying.
Yep, 100% correct. That stuff is super interesting because if you look at like what separates humans from other animals, a lot of it has to do with brain design, right? Like the amygdala down there, emotion. That's way deep in the brain, right? You don't have to be that smart to have an amygdala. What animal in the animal kingdom doesn't respond when something's threatening? They get an emotion and they act on it, right? Yeah, you slap a goat, what's a goat gonna do? It's now taking attention off of what you did. It's now having an emotion. It's like, the hell did I do? You can train something who has emotions, right? Has an amygdala. If a goat sees, like a horse stampeding toward it, what's it going to do? Right. Like that's just simple low-level brain activity, right? So that's when we say, like, if we can't control our emotions, we're really not all that better than monkeys, right? Because like all animals have emotions and they just act on them, right? We have what they call a prefrontal cortex, which is the rest of the whole freaking brain. Okay, that means we get to decide. By that decision making, like if you notice, we're the only animal in the animal kingdom that gets born to where we're completely helpless. We can't take care of ourselves at all. Like when a horse is born, how long does it take it to learn how to walk?
Like an hour.
Yeah. How long did it take Eunice?
9 months.
9 months? 10 months? See what I mean? And can she take care of herself right now, Eunice, if she wanted to? No. Why do you think why do you think humans are born so early when they're so underdeveloped?
Oh, that's a good question. Because?
Why do you think, Jane?
I really don't know.
Look at how huge their brain is. Their brain is so huge. They can't be delivered by their mother if their head gets any frickin' bigger.
Right. I never thought of that. Duh.
So they can't. It's like look at a baby goat. Its head isn't bigger than its chest cavity at all, right? But a goat can look at how big a baby's head is. It's the biggest thing on the whole baby. So the reason the baby gets born at the time it does is because its head is already getting too big and it has to get out. Otherwise, it's not going to be able to get out. But that also means that the body's completely underdeveloped and it can't actually work for itself yet. It can't support itself. It can't do anything. We don't even consider it an adult until it's 18 years old. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, like all animals will go through, like a puppy's, like they'll have a little bit of time, but like nothing takes 18 years before it can leave its mother. Like before it can defend itself, before it can actually like survive, in the wild. That's all because of the massive noggin we have compared to the rest of our body.
Interesting.
So a little something to think about there. But as we grow smarter and smarter and smarter, it allowed us to have things like memory. And it allowed us to also have things like spatial thought plus imagination. No other animals have imagination.
Yeah.
Like, Emma, you look into the future a lot. That's a key skill of yours. Animals can't look into the future. They have no imagination. They can't run through scenarios in their head that says that if I go over and I pinch my mom, she's probably going to get mad and not be happy with me after that. You can run through that scenario in your head pretty easily, and you know whether to do it or not. For them, there's no pre-planning. Anyway, Dad, what do you like on these?
just when it was talking mainly about trying new things, learn a language, try new experiences, try to remember stuff, out of the ordinary. Now, see, you guys are getting all that in school because everything's new to you. But when you get older and everything, a lot of times everything just turns into habit, one habit after another. So from my standpoint, I've got to be looking for something new that's actually going to get the spark going up there in the brain a little bit heavier. And that gets to be a challenge. So
What's the challenging part about it?
Finding something new that I'm really interested in learning. Because if you're not interested in learning it, you're not going to want to do it,
Right. You won't be as focused.
Yep.
So.
How about you, Deej? Anything else on these?
I think the areas of the brain was interesting because, like, the amygdala, whatever that is.
Yep.
Yeah, it says emotion. Like, I remember when you asked Anna, like, the last meeting we had, that what were you doing at 9/11?
Yeah.
And that she was in school. And then when you asked her what she was doing 9/10, she was like, I don't know. So it kind of has got something to do with the first video.
Yeah.
Because the first video was like talking about something that will help you remember a memory. So like emotions is a big thing on remembering something. That makes sense.
Yep. You're absolutely 100% correct. 100%. Because, like, what's the amygdala do? It's on the very bottom, and it connects both sides of the brain together, right? So that was like if you have an emotion tied to something, it works super fast. And it's ingrained because you got it on both sides of the brain. It's a little different than like what Anna was doing on 9/10, where she probably was just kind of doing what she normally does. It wasn't anything like that catastrophically crazy. Now, do you guys see?
Another thing.
Oh, go on, Dad.
Another thing that I was kind of interested in hearing, and I don't know if Jane and Emma paid any attention to it or not, but when DJ tries to study, she usually likes to have radio on, and she likes to have her cell phone right handy in case, she wants to just text somebody while she's trying to learn and things like that. And one of the things that it talked about was focus and concentration. And I think that has so much to do with it because just like Kay, if she was here, I'm sure that she would verify that she likes to go to a quiet area to where she can pay a lot of attention to what she's doing. And that enables her to concentrate and focus a lot more on what she's doing.
Yep.
So
now, guys, do you see the screen up here where it shows kind of the brain in cross section?
Yeah.
Okay, so the brain in cross section, and then you see the circle. Now you remember we had a video a long time ago from Simon Sinek. It said start with why, right? You guys remember that? And he had the concept of a golden circle. The beginning is what? Yep. How'd it go?
How, why?
What, how, why? As you go down into the brain, right? So what his whole thing was, it was that whole golden circle was based out of biology, meaning the biology of the brain. So if you cut a brain in half like it is, your amygdala is right at the center. That's where all the emotion is, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason you actually do most things, is because of an emotion. Now you back it up through some sort of rational reason. Like, Emma, what's your favorite food?
Popcorn.
Why is that?
Does it taste good?
Oh, that's the real reason. That's correct. But if you were to explain to someone and defend why popcorn is the greatest popcorn, or why is the greatest food of all time, and why you should eat it every day of your life, what would you say?
Oh, dang.
Jane, what do you think?
It
Anybody?
healthy or bad for you. That makes it pretty.
It's what?
It can be both good and bad for you, depending on how you make it.
So you're saying you would make it good for you, therefore it would be good for you, and you should eat it every day.
Right.
Right. So, like, DJ, if you were to say, I like cake, I would like to eat cake every day. Cake's made out of eggs, flour, milk. I don't know what's wrong. Like, all those things are great for me. I would like to eat cake every single day. The cake, flour, and eggs, or the flour and eggs and milk, that's all the outer brain trying to rationalize why it wants to eat cake every day. So in the middle, it's just your emotion knowing that, like, when you eat cake, you like it. Right?
Yeah.
When I say, hey, listen, I want a Tesla, I really just think they're freaking cool. I could say, well, it's an electric car. There's no emissions. Don't have to pay anything for gas. Blah, 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 blah. It's just purely because I think it's cool.
Right.
Okay? So, like, as we developed as kind of humans, it started off as a small little pink area, and then we developed this red area around it, and then we did the neocortex. Why do you think they call it the neocortex? Anybody remember anything with neo at the beginning?
Neurotransmitters. No, those are neuro. Never mind.
Huh? Neo means new. So it's a new cortex. That's why we had to continue to be born earlier and earlier. We kept adding to our frickin' brain. Okay, so as our brain got bigger, we had to be delivered from mom earlier, and we got bigger heads. We were able to think better. We were able to make tools, and then we were able to kill all the other animals. And that's why we run the earth. But it all starts from the very beginning, and then it just works its way out. That's why he says, like, start with why. If you want to influence anyone, you tell them why. You work on their emotions first. They'll justify it through reasoning afterwards. We're real good at that. We have plenty of reasoning. That's what you're doing in school all day long, is logically reasoning through things, right? But if you want to get into somebody's soul, you work on their emotions, right? Why does Emma always, or Eunice always cause you to smile every time you see her? See? She knows.
She's cute.
Right, of course. It's not logical. There's absolutely nothing logical about that, right? It goes right down to the lowest part of your brain, and you know that you should be taking care of a little human that small, and you know that they're lovable. You know, she's not lovable at all. When you really think about it, just think this through for a second. For her, she is only happy when she's getting everything she wants. She's not a reciprocal loving person, like helping you, you're helping her, she's wonderful, that kind of thing. No, she's not. Like, if she takes a crap, like, you tell me how long it takes for her to, like, let you know about it. If she wants to be held, I tell you what, she's not going to be like, oh, it's okay, I love you anyway. No, hell no, she's not. She's going to start screaming. That's one-way love. One way. Everybody giving it to her, which is fine. But just think of it the next time you think like, oh, babies are so lovable. No, they're not. They're loving you one bit. They're only loving you when you're giving them absolutely everything they want.
You're not lovable.
Don't get me wrong, we still all love her because it's the lowest part of the brain. My part. All right. Anybody else? Anything on these?
No.
Wow, Anna's going to be sad that she missed these because she was the one who really wanted these this week. All right. So let me bring up the things for last week. Dad, workout 3 times. How'd it go?
I only did it twice. Too much partying interfered.
All right. So what about the next week? Tell me more.
Three times this next week. I need to get with it.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I do.
3 times workout. All right. Now what happens if you don't do it?
Do what?
What happens if you don't do it?
100 for me.
$100
Did you
per
hear
time?
that? Huh?
Per time? Whew, that's a stiff bet. Okay. Dad, are you okay with that? I think you're going to be able to get it done.
No.
Well, how important is this goal to you? If it's not that important, then don't do it.
No, I need to get back into it real heavy.
Well, that's no better motivator.
Huh?
I'll put down here 100 to DJ for each time under 3 times. Whew. I bet you work out this week.
DJ says I don't have to.
That's up to DJ.
So I get the 100.
All right, so mine for
Emma,
this next
do you
week.
see what I'm up against here, Emma?
See what?
Do you see what I'm up against?
I do. It's okay.
No, DJ's trying to start a conspiracy.
Oh dear.
I know. Come in here.
All right. DJ, we had saved $20 and work out 3 times.
I saved $16.
Boom.
Yay!
That's way more than 20. Nice.
She only worked out once, so that means how many is she gonna do this next time?
10 times. 3 times.
3 times, and I get $100 if she doesn't do it,
Alrighty.
and I have to see it in action.
Yeah, alright. I'll take a video. A 10-second video. Just work
That
out
doesn't
for
do it.
10 seconds.
She's trying to wiggle out of it.
She's trying to cheat the system, isn't she?
Yep.
All right, so DJ, work out 3 times. What else? Anything else?
Save some more money. How about another 20? Another 20.
You gonna save another 20? Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
You know how she's saving money, Jane? She's got a checking account, and she lost her checks.
I didn't lost it. It's misplaced.
Misplaced. Okay, it's misplaced. So she can't write a check for things. So guess how she gets money?
By not spending it.
Huh?
Well, she can't spend it. Therefore, she doesn't.
Well, she comes to me and gets the money from me and wants more than what it is.
Seems like she's got a good system.
Yep. It seems to work for her.
You seem to not be complaining.
I do.
Oh, dear.
Playing him like a fiddle. All right, Dina. Working in the garden 3 times.
Did you work in the garden?
I did that last week. I worked here and I put the
That's
leaves
right.
under the trees and then I cleaned the garden in front of the house. Yeah, I did that.
Yep, she worked.
Nice. All right, Dina, what's up for this week?
I have to do a hardcore workout.
Hardcore workout. How many?
I went 4 times this week
For how many minutes?
for 1 hour each.
Each?
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah.
For 1 hour each. Okay. That's a tough one. All right, Jane Bug, how about you?
My goals for this week are paint my bookshelf that I did in ag class. I'm gonna paint it turquoise so it can go in my room, and then get the big bed and the queen bed in my room. So I want a queen bed to be in my room.
Okay.
Since I'm off, I'm gonna do that stuff this week.
And what about the bed? I'm sorry, a clean bed in your room? Clean the bed in your room?
Clean, like a big bed.
Ah.
Ow, my hair hurts. Stop. It hurts.
All right, and Emma.
Okay, my goals are to exercise 4 times and do yoga twice.
Very good. What kind of exercise do you do, Em?
Blog Lottie's, the one Jane does.
Oh.
It's a YouTube one.
Good.
That's what I do too.
That's what you do too? Dina?
Yeah. I watched
Nice.
the video and I followed it. I joined in the crowd in YouTube.
All right, nice. All right, guys. Sounds good. Do you have anything in particular, Jane, Emma, for next week? Anything you'd like to discuss in particular?
I had a cool one.
Yeah?
It's a TED Talk with Gina Hartley, and it was about why the best person to hire might not have a perfect resume. It's Regina, R-E-G-I-N-A.
Got it.
I liked that one.
All right, I'll send that one over. That's a great one. Let's do it.
Have you seen it?
No, I haven't. It's a new one for me. I'm ready.
Okay. Hold on, let's see. 19 minutes.
All right. Okay, we want a speed prize because I know you guys only have a little bit of time, right? You only have 10 minutes?
That's fine. That's okay.
All right, I'll go first. Dina, you're the kind of person that'll make green drinks to everybody whenever they come over. We really appreciate it. It was completely and totally awesome. That's one of the best green drinks I've had in a really long time. Thank you very much. I've been drinking my own green drinks, and they're not nearly as good as that. So thank you for being the kind of person that'll share that with everybody. Thank you. Dad, you're the kind of person that will take us out and shoot guns with us in the middle of the day while Lou and everybody are around. And you're also the kind of person that will go pick up Jenny from the hotel. We really appreciate that. Thank you so much for being able to do that on a moment's notice. You're always there to help. Deej, you're the kind of person that will really let her talents shine. Like, it was awesome just listening to you play the piano. That was so badass. Like having everybody kind of sing along. That was completely great. I really thought that was great. Emma, you're the kind of person that is really thoughtful and considerate to everybody. I noticed that you're always kind of in the background, really trying to help everybody out, and you always want to make sure that everybody's doing okay. You took really good care of your dad while he was sick over the last week. I think that was pretty badass of you. So you guys get dueling badass awards. Jane? I can't see you, Jane. All right. There she is. Jane, you're the kind of person that always keeps everybody on their toes because you're always thinking about everything all the time. I like that about you. You make sure that everybody always is thinking. Thank you for challenging everybody who you're around. And I'm the kind of person that's going to have an absolutely stellar week. All right, who's next?
I will. Fritz, you're the type of person who's a great leader on the calls. And DJ, you're the kind of person who's great at doing better with your geometry. You do better each week. And when we were on it for a little bit, you were like, raise my geometry grade. And then, Grandpa, you give great advice on the calls and help guide us through our topics. Emma is great at helping everybody and gives advice to me when I need it. And Dina is the type of person, you get a goal and you go with it, like in the garden, and you're going way out and beyond with your workouts, 1 hour at a time. And I'm the kind of person who was trying to stay happy over Christmas, even though I was not feeling very good at all.
Very good.
Next, Fritz, you're the type of person who is willing to take a break and drive over to come over here to spend time with your family on Christmas, and that's a very great thing. DJ, you're the type of person who is willing to clean the house because the Fritz and other relatives will come over. I appreciate that.
They look great,
Jane,
too.
You're beautiful. I don't know what to say. I'm not gonna cover it earlier, so I appreciate you come over also in town for Christmas to spend with your family and Emma and John. You're the type of person who would go shopping at night. That was the first time we went shopping to buy gifts.
Ever.
Yes, first time ever to buy gifts for Christmas, and you're the type of person who will spend time with your family and friends no matter what, even if you don't do your work, you just have to give time to your family and friends. And I'm the type of person who is always wanting to make everyone happy and yes.
Yes, you are.
Okay. Did you next?
I don't know what to say about myself.
Jane, you're the type of person that really helps everybody appreciate the season by bringing your smiling face to the get-togethers and talks to everybody and helps your dad just like Emma does, you know, around the place when he's not feeling good and everything else. And that's very commendable. You've got to keep helping all you can around the place. Em, you're the one that needs to constantly be the bigger sister to help wherever you can with Jane and Claire to help them understand some of the experiences that you've had. And that is a big, big, big help, to say the least, when you're able to do that. Dina, you're the type of person that you're the queen of green drinks, and there's nothing healthier, Emma and Jane, than green drinks. You know, some people think putting vegetables and fruits together doesn't sound good, but it is so nutritional for you and everything. And DJ's the type of person that whenever I need help, she is very willing to come and is always smiling and helping me do my work out doing carpet and so forth. And Fritz, you're the type of person that really does take the time to come and spend time with the family and make the experience just that much richer and everything. And I appreciate you and Jenny coming down very much and everything. And I'm the type of person that just likes to sit back and watch all you guys grow and become bigger and better people. And that's what it's all about, you know, so that you're smarter, you understand nature. And Jane, M, and DJ, you're going to just absolutely be so far ahead of other people by understanding a lot of the things that we're talking about and everything, because a lot of people don't have this experience. So that's it. DJ, you're up.
Fritz, you're the type of person that is willing to spend time with your family. Family is important to you. Emma, you are on top of what you're doing. You always do the best thing you can on what you do. Jane, you're very, very, very smart. I don't know how your mind works. Like on your book reports and all that. I don't know if I could do that. I mean, I probably could if I exercise my mind more. But Dad, you make me work all the time. You also try to make time for everyone. Mom, you are very patient with Eunice and me. I want to improve and work on time management more. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Very good.
Okay, Fritz, you are a great leader on the calls and in general, and you're an easy person to talk to about anything. Jane, you are always setting goals and achieving them, and you're a great organizer. She's organized. What have you organized this week? The pantry, Dad's shop, your room. She's a good organizer. Grandpa, you're great at helping us apply our videos from the call to live, which is a great skill. Dina, you're always happy, and you set goals and you work toward them like you're nursing. DJ, you're a fun-loving person, and you're super talented. And I'm the type of person who strives to learn as much as I can.
Very good. That's what we all have to do.
Good.
So.
All right, guys. See you guys later. Thank you so much for being on the call.
Bye.
Okay.
Thanks.
Take care.
Tell your mom you're coming to Chicago for spring break.
Yeah, I'm going to try, but she's very adamant about baby goats, baby goats, baby goats. Yeah.
They'll be here when.
See ya.
Bye. Bye-bye.
All right, Dad. I don't know. We don't have an Anna still. So I called her. I'm not sure where she is. Looking at the sheet, you saw it a few days ago, I'm assuming, yeah?
Do what now?
For our weekly call this week. I saw you on here, or it says that you had an edit 2 hours ago, so you filled out your dashboard. Do you want to just talk to Anna about this?
We can. There's not that much going on. The big thing that I would like to see come into it more is like you said about the cash flow, the sustainability numbers,
Yeah.
and that accounting type stuff. She's had a lot of expert help, I think. It'd be good if she was able to understand that